professors are not only teachers, they are also doctorants, they are researchers over here. So they also do research project for with companies. I am doing my internship under my professor who's working on a project with lab. We call it as LAS CNRS. So it is one of the renowned research center. My tuition fee is around 5,000 euros per year. So it's like around 5 lakhs 1 year. So and living expense, I will say it's really easy for me here because there are many organizations. This is student city. Toulouse is a student city, so where you can find international students across. You're not alone. So you have more international students studying with you. You will feel home. It is like that. Toulouse is like that. And also there are many organizations coming forward to help students, so that they provide many distributions so that you can register with your student card. All the distributions, most of the distributions are free. After coming here, I really felt safe. Even I used to work in laboratories in college till 8:30. Our college closes at 8:30. If you want to work on your projects, we can work. The duration of a college is from 8 to 6. So after 6, if you want to work on projects or something, you can stay back and work. So most of the time, I used to stay back and work, and I used to come by 8:30, 9 to my home. I'm very honest, I've never felt unsafe. I feel safe here.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our interview series. My name is Jayashree Rajendran. I'm the branch head of Chennai Europe Study Center. So in Europe Study Center, we are sending a lot of students to top-ranked government universities all across Europe. And today we are in 2026, but still many young women still have this doubt and fear of going abroad for their higher studies. And even in 2026, I see a lot of difference in the parents' perspective also. Sending a girl and sending a boy is kind of like different. It is still there. So today I have a remarkable student with me who has made her European dreams into reality. I'm very proud to welcome Anusha for our show today. Welcome to our show, Anusha.
Thank you, ma'am.
So can you introduce yourself to our viewers today? What you are doing at present, where you are, what subject that you are studying?
Sure. I'm Anusha Saravanan. I'm from Coimbatore. Now I am currently pursuing my master's in electronic system for embedded and communicating applications at Toulouse. And I am doing my master's at NCET, Toulouse INP. I did my bachelor's back in India at Coimbatore in a renowned institution. So here I came for my master's in order to pursue gain more knowledge in embedded systems because I'm more interested to it. Back in India, I did electrical and electronics engineering. And also separately, I've done many courses relevant to my curriculum. So in that, I started learning embedded systems and I found it very interesting and I wanted to pursue more about it, learn more about it. So I chose master's.
Great. So you are presently in France pursuing your master's, right? And I see that you have almost completed your studies. And what are you doing at present?
So now I've completed my first year. So 2 semesters are over. At present, I'm doing my internship. So it's been 2 weeks since I started my internship. After coming here, I learned not only about embedded systems, also my course is more relevant, more into electronics, RF systems, telecommunication, embedded systems, etc. So after coming here, I learned more about RF system, microwave projects, microwave research systems. So I even got more interested to it. So now I approached my professor for my internship. So here we can also do internships under our professors because our professors are not only teachers, they are also doctorants, they are researchers over here. So they also do research project for with companies and in labs, etc. So as I was interested in RF, so I approached my professor who is a researcher. So again, as I said, they do research projects in laboratories. So our colleges also have well collaboration with laboratories where they do scientific researches. So I am doing my internship under my professor who's working on a project with lab. We call it as LAS CNRS. So it is one of the renowned research center. So they have a high they have collaborations with many colleges and aerospace companies. So yeah, I'm doing my internship under my professor in that
Great.
laboratory.
So, when did you decide that you want to do higher studies abroad, and why did you choose Europe?
Yeah. So this is very interesting because my father is an engineer. When I was at my school, I guess it was 8th standard. I guess I used to. Yeah, I used to talk with my father a lot. We both are more like friends. So we used to talk about career and stuffs like that. As I'm following my father, I wanted to get into engineering. Seeing him, he's an electrical engineer. So we both used to search for the studies abroad. So my father was more, as he was into engineering field, he knows the importance of engineering in abroad. He knows what all countries are very advanced, what all countries are more into engineering. So he knows that Europe is the place. So we all already had the mindset that if you are going abroad, it should be Europe because it is well known for engineering. So while searching for it, we used to see Europe Study Center advertising on TV. So we used to get pamphlets, and we were following so keenly. So I was ready for it. And also, after following Europe Study Center, we came to know that engineering in European countries is like 3+3. That is, they do diploma, bachelor's, and master's. So knowing that, after my 10th standard, I joined diploma. So after my diploma, I completed my bachelor's and was very, very straight. I wanted to pursue my master's in abroad as I was planning way before. So immediately after joining bachelor's, we came to Europe Study Center. We spoke about it, and we were very narrow about our what we want. So as I said I also did course in extra to pursue my dream. So I decided what I wanted when I came to bachelor's. So I know that electronics was my domain. So I did embedded systems, and also after researching and learning, I understood embedded is very strong in aerospace. So I wanted to join colleges which are into aerospace technologies. So then after researching and coming to Europe Study Center, they guided me to Toulouse.
Great. So tell me, what is the difference that you see? Because you studied bachelor's here in India, and now you're doing masters in Europe. So what is the difference that you see in the part of like learnings, academics, curriculum, and how practical the studies are, how the industries are connected? Can you tell more about that?
Okay, here I also studied my I did my diploma and bachelor's in the same institution, which is renowned. So I got a strong foundation in basics in India, back in India, and it is well structured. We all know we have a perfect structure in learning. They organize. We also have practical studies and everything. So after coming here, the major difference is the structure of how professors structure the programs and how exams are taken, how they are teaching. It was different. First of all, teachers marks you not only with the proper prim structured examinations, or you have to do this lab, the exam. It was not like that. It's like if we take up one subject, after completing the subject, we'll have the exam. So teachers never mark you with one exam or a fixed exam. It's not like that. If they want to test you, they can test you at any way. Like they may test you with report, they may test you with oral examination, they may test you with written examination. It's up to them. So it is like that. And also, as I said, our professors are doctorants, researchers. They also work in research projects. So our teaching will be in that way, what all they face, what all they do in the research. So it will be more technical oriented, and they help us to think more analytically rather than theoretically. It is more analytics. So it's kind of gaining more advanced technical knowledge here through our teachers, and also independent thinking has been developed. We do our projects and all of those stuff. We'll have a subject, we'll have a face-to-face class. So we'll have a theoretical class first, with basics, then we'll have laboratory, then we'll have practical project in it. So it'll be structured like this. The examination system, everything is totally different. We don't have like first semester exam, internals, we don't have like that. It's like if one subject is over, you'll have an exam. It's like that. They text you like that.
Right. So, how did we help you in all the process and procedures from Europe Study Center? How was your experience with us?
They were only focusing on what I need. They didn't impose anything that you have to go here, not like that. First, everything was on me. If I wish, if I like it, I can do it. It was like that. So that itself was encouraging me. So I can choose what I want. It was not like forcing me, just because you're like this, you should go here. It was not like that. It was like totally on my perspective and totally on my wish. So here they did. I said that I am interested in particularly on embedded system. So they guided me that embedded system is very strong in aerospace technology, and there are courses like this. Even they guided me. As I did my bachelor's in Tripoli, so they also showed me the opportunities what I have for electronics, and they allowed me to choose. So I think I chose 2 colleges. I applied for 2 to 3 colleges, and this college which I'm studying, NCET, is my major focus, and I got in there. And from there they helped me for visa procedure, for passport, for accommodation, for everything. They were with me until I boarded here. I landed here. They were with me till now. They are with me.
Yeah, even after 2 years, like you are giving this
Yeah.
interview, so always like we are in touch. We can see that.
Exactly.
So tell me like about your tuition fee and living expenses. How much is your tuition fee, and how much is your living expenses now?
Okay, I my tuition fee is around 5,000 euros per year. So it's like around 5 lakhs 1 year. So and living expense, I will say it's really easy for me here because there are many organizations. This is student city. Toulouse is a student city, so where you can find international students across. It is not, you're not alone. So you have more international students studying with you. You will feel home. It is like that. Toulouse is like that. And also there are many organizations coming forward to help students, so that they provide many distributions so that you can register with your student card. All the distributions, most of the distributions are free. Some distributions are like it's like a supermarket, so you can get things in half price. What you get in supermarket, you can get it in half price.
Great.
So I don't spend more than like 10 to 20 euros per month. So not even that. I usually get most of the things I get from distributions, and really good things. It's
You mean like 10 to 20 euros is like very less, Anusha?
1,000 to 2,000 rupees exactly.
Like that. Really? That much?
Really,
in
that
Indian
much.
money?
That's what I spend. Yeah, even if I don't spend, also like I can live on these things. I don't want to get anything. It's like extra fancy things which I get, which I need. So it is like that because there are there are very many organizations. They want to help students. This is a student city, so it is like that. And also coming to my rent, there are many students' residencies also. I live in an apartment. It is fully furnished, so I pay about 470 euros per month for my accommodation. So that is the only expense which is going from my side.
Understood. Only rent that you're paying every month.
Yeah, that I'm paying. And also you have to take some insurances. That also is for a year. Right. It's like all the documentations you do is for 1 year. So if you renew it, it's
one
okay.
time that you do it.
One time pay, and that's it. Yeah.
Okay. So how was it for you going from India to Europe for the first time? So have you been to Europe earlier, or is this your first time? Or how did you adapt to the new environment? Because everything is pretty much new there, right? New language, new studies, and like, new climate. Everything that you have to adapt to it. And did you have any friends for this to support? Or how did it go for you?
Okay, yeah, I'm very new to Europe. I haven't been to any countries. I haven't been out of my home. I am a very pampered child. I have never been to even to my relatives' house. I used to be with my parents. Always I used to be with my parents. I'm like that. My sister went abroad to study, but still it was medicine, but not engineering. So she has that experience, but I don't. I haven't been out even for 1 or 2 days. I haven't stayed in my relative's house. It's like that. And here, as I said, my father and we were like friends. So we used to discuss all about it. And once we decided, I want to give it a try, and European Study Center helped me a lot. After coming here, I have to say mention this. I also had my friend, European Study Center. You guys introduced us together, and we both came together, which was really helpful. Till now, we are friends, and it is really helpful for us to move forward, to see everything, to handle things here alone. And also, I was very keen about this, and I was very focused on coming here, and I want to do my masters in abroad. I had the firm confidence in me that I will handle this. After coming here, also, this place made me home, made me feel home, because there were many international students. The people around me were like me, so we all have that connect with us. We try to make us feel home in one way or the other. We try to overcome it. At the beginning, 1 or 2 months, it was really difficult. I was homesick and all of those things, but as I was very confident in my goal and I want to pursue this, so I really handle it. And this place will help you, obviously help you to handle things. You're not alone. You have students around you who are like you, so you feel home.
Right. So tell me this one thing, like, you've been prowling from 8th standard and your sister also went abroad. So that's such a good thing for you. But still, I see a lot of parents when I meet them, they specifically tell if it's a girl, I'm thinking about it because it's a girl. If it's a boy, I wouldn't worry about it. It's always there, right? Even in
Always that.
2026, it's
Exactly.
still there. So what do you
Yeah.
want to tell, especially for those parents thinking
Yeah.
about sending their child, but they are thinking that because it's a barrier, it's
Because
always there. Yeah. What do you want to tell
exactly.
them?
I can relate it very because as we both are girl child at home, my parents also. To be honest, my parents also was really scared about it. They did not restrict us because we love, we aim, we dream to be there. Our a major goal of life was that studies is very important for us, so that they didn't restrict us. So our first experience was my sister. She went abroad after her 12th, immediately after her 12th. She was 18 then. So seeing her, she went to Philippines. I can mention that she went to Philippines. It was a safe city. She grew all what to say, contrast things are there, the things which we have to handle so how we handle ourselves, it's like that. So she was very strong and she handled everything, but I'm not like that. I'm not like her. She's very strong. I'm not like her. I'm really scared of things. I may talk boldly, but I'm really scared of things. So my parents were really scared of me than my sister. But after coming here, I really felt safe. Even I used to work in laboratories in college till 8:30. Our college closes at 8:30. If you want to work on your projects, we can work. The duration of a college is from 8 to 6. So after 6, if you want to work on projects or something, you can stay back and work. So most of the time, I used to stay back and work, and I used to come by 8:39 to my home. I'm very honest. I've never felt unsafe. I feel safe here. So it is really safe here. No, not to where I used, because this is walking state. European countries, most of the countries are walking state. You used to walk a lot. You take public transports and walk. So even after taking the public transports to reach my home, I have to walk for about 500 meters or 800 meters. I used to walk. So I have felt safe. Till now, I haven't faced any difficult situation or unsafe situation over here. It's really safe.
Great. That's what we usually tell students also. But nowadays it's changing because I have sent like a lot of bachelor students. A lot of bachelor students, they come as they want to go for bachelor's itself. So it's such a good thing to encourage, right? But parents,
Exactly.
there is still some hesitation. It's
Some
always there
hesitation.
because there is
Yeah,
some pressure coming from relative side. Why
exactly.
at the same, like why at this age? Why girl child? Like it's always
Yeah.
there.
Why girl child? That is the major reason people around you tell. Why you are making girl child to study? It's
Yeah.
all like that. His parents should be more
Mhm.
supportive to the child, because it's your child, not others. So you have to be supportive to your child. If they want, if you can help them pursuing their dream, you should give.
Mm.
You should believe your child, not others. You should not listen to anyone else.
Agreed. Perfectly agreed. So tell me, you are at you're doing your internship now, right?
Yeah.
So how did you get this internship, and what are the groundworks you did to get this internship? Because when I meet students, they ask me this question, "Ma'am, everything is okay. Final semester is an internship. Okay, will the university give the internship to me? Is it a part of
Uh,
the program?" They easily ask that. So,
yeah,
but we have
exactly.
to do certain groundworks to get into this, right? So it's very important. Tell me what all you did.
Yeah, exactly. I also have many messages from LinkedIn asking that you're studying over here. How you is college providing you internship? Is college providing you placements? Actually, if I was in India, I also will have the same perspective. So after coming here, it is mostly like it's all on you. You have to work. You have to develop your skills. When you are confident with what you learn, you definitely will find a way to pursue whatever you need. So it's like that. If you they show you how to pursue internship. They show you how to go into companies. It's not like that they'll drag you to a company. You sit here, you go for an interview. It's not like that, but they show the way. It's not like spoon feeding, but they teach you, they show the way how you can handle things, how you can get an internship, how you can go for a job. It's more like finding yourself. As I said, I was more into embedded system, but after coming here, I also learned RF, so I kind of liked it. I understood I was even more onto it. So they show the way where you are good at. So you learn more things on that perspective. So when you learn more things on it, you can find the opportunity. They show all the way. They'll show what all opportunities you have. So what if you're on semiconductors? They show here you have NXP. So for coming back to me, I said I'm very interested in RF system, microwave system, and embedded systems. So we have more companies like more major organization here in Toulouse is Airbus, Thales, Safran, Kennis, and all. Here, Toulouse is the European capital for aerospace and aviation. So I have to mention this. So we have all this
Mhm.
major organization around us. So first of all, teachers will help us to find what we are good at. So they will help us to develop in it. So after knowing that, they also show the way what all companies we can apply for, what all companies are there for. So through that, we can find opportunities and grab it. It's like that.
Great. Okay. So we were talking about like internships and how to get into one. So is the university also supporting you for getting into these kind of career aspects? Do they have anything? Because here we have placements, but it works in a different way. But how is that work there?
Yeah, we also have university guidance. We also have
Mhm.
a place where all the companies get in, so we can present ourselves to them, so that we can get into a company. We it's more or less like our internship at our college placement system itself, but it is in a different way. You have all the companies here. You present yourself. You present what you are good at, so that they can take you. It's like that. We have a separate class for it. It's called as communication class. So they help you how to approach companies, how to get into internship, how we should present ourselves, how we should highlight what all we know, how we should speak, how we should learn things. So we have a separate class. It's like a soft skill class. So we used to attend those class. After that, they also arrange this where I say company, all the companies come in, so we can approach for them for work, internship, entrepreneurship, anything what you want, what you are good at.
Great, great. So tell me about this language barrier because people ask me this question. Is there any language barrier in Europe? So because they fear to go choose Schengen countries mainly because they think that that will be a barrier because of the language. Because they think about going to English speaking countries is better because they already know English, right? But here it's not the case. But language is not a requirement to complete our studies. Is it true, Anusha?
Lang,
Give me
lang,
some insights on that.
Yeah, sure. To be honest, I'm learning French. I'm still a
Mm.
learner.
Mhm.
Coming here also, I was not a learner. I was very basic in French because
Mm.
before 1 month coming here, I just started to learn what all words are there, how it is, how it will work. But coming here, I was a beginner. University also provide you opportunity to learn. We also have weekly once a French class, so that we used to learn French. So even now I'm learning, but I survived for 1 year. It is not a barrier, obviously. So if you learn, it is good for you. So I am learning. It is like extra skill which I gain. So
Correct.
I am doing now. I am doing my internship. So I'm itself an example that it is not a barrier, but I am
Right.
learning. If we learn it, it gives me even more opportunities. Now I have opportunities, but if I learn learn French, it will provide me even more opportunities to go into companies, to go into laboratories for research works and all of those things.
Definitely, yes. We
Hmm.
always tell the students, like, do not take this as a barrier to enter into higher studies, because, especially in Schengen countries, with the opportunities that they provide, this is not at all a barrier, right? Because the
Exactly,
industry
exactly.
connected program, practical studies, the labs, infrastructure, everything is like top notch there. So,
Yeah, exactly.
that idea that students should have, right,
Yeah.
to understand. Correct. So, have you visited any other countries other than France? Because you have the Schengen visa, which you
But
can explore other 29 countries, right? Have you visited any other countries so far?
yeah, I had a summer holiday, so I went to Spain. So I went to Barcelona, and there it is a busy city. Barcelona is a busy city, and I went there, and I was fascinated with their architecture. So the
Ah,
country, their architecture is so famous for, and also I went to this church called as Sagrada, and which is still being construct. It's under construction. It's been
okay.
constructed for about 300 years, I guess. So it's under construction. So it is a very famous spot over there. So I went over there, and also there was a building called as Bassa Campo, which was built by a famous architecture. It is like a home, but where you find it's like you have all the spots, you have everything over there, even theater and all of those inside one home. So he have built in such a creative manner. It doesn't look like a home. It will be like a heritage or something. It will be so beautiful to watch. So the architecture was very famous over there. So I went, I explored. I stayed there for 2 days. So I tried to cover as much as places I could. So
That's
it
the
was
perk that you get, no, with the Schengen visa. You get to travel all across places.
yeah,
I usually see it from the students' Instagram profiles and all. They put all the flags, all the
ex-
flags they put it.
yeah,
Almost like 14,
exactly,
15 flags that they put it, saying that like these are all the countries that I have covered. So that is
exactly,
some perk that they get when they go into this.
exactly.
See, Anusha, there is also an Erasmus exchange program where students can exchange from one semester to other semester, right? Did you get an opportunity to do that?
Yeah, actually, I have an opportunity to do that, but still, as I wanted to be here, I'm very more into aerospace technology. So this, as I said, Toulouse is the capital of aerospace and aviation. I stick to it, but we also have this opportunity. So before coming here, European Study Center also gave me this. If we have good scores, so if I want to first coming to European Study Center, my ambition was to go into Germany, not France. Then,
Mhm.
after knowing my domain and what is powerful, in which country this domain is powerful, then I learned that it was France. So, if there might be students who have this much percentage in India and they have to get into Germany or they get somewhere else and they wanted to exchange, they can develop their skills, they can get good marks, and they can change their program and go to what country they want.
Did you also get scholarship for your tuition fee?
Yeah. Actually my fees was 9,000 euros,
Okay.
and I got a scholarship and I got into this college with 5,000 euros.
Oh, okay, great, great. So that's kind of, I think you were spending around somewhere around like 5 lakhs for a year as a tuition fee, and
Exactly.
living expenses not that much, right?
Yeah,
Yes, that's
exactly.
great.
For studies, it's
Mhm.
just 5 lakhs, and I didn't spend anything more for studies. It was
Mhm.
for 1 year. It was 5 lakhs, more, not more.
All right. See, when it comes to this, our students' mindset, they usually prefer going to this all these English-speaking countries. So mainly because they think language, and then they think they have to like going there will be better. They don't think about like English other countries, especially Europe has like lot of benefits. And when they go to many agents or consultants, they say that they use this term called part time as a marketing term.
Mhm.
They say like you can do part time for this many hours a week and you can earn this much. But we in Europe Study Center for these 15 plus years, we never told any student that you can go do part time there. Even though legally it's possible, we do not suggest students to go for it because practically it's not possible. You have to put in a lot of efforts and study. So can you give me
Exactly.
some insights on that?
Yeah, I have to tell this. Major attraction we chose Europe Study Center was that you don't want to do part time. My father was most attracted to that. You don't want to do part time when you go to study because you're going to study. My father is always like that. If you're studying, you have to focus on studies. If you're going to work, work. It's like that. So here engineering is something very huge. So if I see if I meet a common people here around, if I talk to them, if we say we are doing masters in this and this, they'll be so surprised. They'll be like, oh my god, you're doing this. So with their expression itself, we can conclude that how hard is for us to learn. So it's like we have to, whatever we learn, as I told you, I most of the time I used to be in college from 8 to 8. So this work itself is enough for us to do. We have more to learn. We have to, mainly we came here to gain knowledge in order to develop ourselves technically. We can work after after learning. We only have 2 years or some period structured for us to learn. So after that, obviously we'll get, if we are technically strong, if we gain our knowledge, we develop everything what we want, we'll definitely get a job. After that, we can go for work. I also don't believe in working, learning and working. It is not, it's really hard for a student to too much to handle. So when it comes to engineering, again, engineering something equivalent to medical. You have to study a lot. You have to work on it a lot. So you have to put efforts into it. You can't be handling things and stuff yourselves and stress yourself.
Yeah, rightly said. Like we always tell this to students because it's not like going to English speaking countries. Like they have to spend a lot. Their living expenses like quite high. But yours living expenses not that much. Like Europe, it's not the case. They just need to understand and choose the right university and the right program. Getting into this university is also difficult, no, Anusha. It is not very easy
Very
for everyone to get into it.
exactly, because these are top ranked universities. So all the universities so far I applied was they tested my knowledge.
Correct.
They only wanted to know what I know, how I am, my skills. They wanted to know what is my skills. If I am qualified, if I am skilled, they are ready to take me. It's like that. It's here. Teaching is also. They'll be like, they don't want you to get this much mark. No teachers considered with you. No teachers will consider or evaluate with your marks. It's all about your knowledge. So they want, the utmost goal of the teacher is if they teach you something, they wanted us to understand. Finally, the utmost goal will be that you have to understand what you're doing. You're doing a project, you want to understand what you're doing. You're learning something, you want to understand what you're learning. So most of the exam is analytical based. I haven't written theoretical exam after coming here. It's full of analytical exams to test your mind, do problem solving techniques. So ultimate goal is to understand what you're doing. If you do something, you have to understand.
How are the credits given? You told about, rightly said about the exams. So give us more idea on the exam patterns that you have now.
So each subject have weightages. Even in India, we have weightages for all the subjects. So 2 coefficient, 1 coefficient. Here also it's the same. We have weightage of the courses. So mostly it will be 2 for laboratories, project and all of those things. 1.5 and 1 will be for the subjects with you have theoretical subjects. You sit in class and you listen to it. So all the exams also will be based on analytical papers and etc. So some papers we used to do, we have 25% of lab, even theoretical. We also have separate labs. Even theoretical paper, I'm telling, 25% will be a practical thing, and 75% will be your exams. It will be like that. So they differentiate each subject with these coefficient, as I said, 1, 1.5, 2, like this. Mostly project has more coefficient. The working, the understanding how we apply on it. It's like that.
So how are the projects are connected with the industries? Like you might have seen your alumni also, right? Like how the project is connected to the industry. Can you give some idea on that?
Yeah, for example, if I say I can tell mine itself, as I am doing RF project. So I used to work on 2 softwares, which is ADS and HFSS. So if you go on with industries working on this, they mostly there will be some companies focused on aerospace technologies, navigation, radar systems. So they mostly use these tools and softwares. What I am learning, navigation system, satellite communication, all of those things. So we will be mostly doing the projects related to that. So it will help us to, if we go into the company, it won't be new. Actually, we already learned over here. It won't be new. So we can easily solve the problem. So we are learning practically what they do in the research centers or in the companies. So it is like that. And also we have connect between industries, laboratories. We also know how things are happening and how we have to technically handle things, technically do projects, how we have to approach one problem.
Mm-hmm. Understood. So 100% practical approach is what we usually tell to the students. So it proves that, like, you're also telling the same thing. What advice that you will give it to students, for the upcoming students, from not only from our ESC, generally for any student who wish to go and come to France or anywhere in Europe, what would be your advice for them?
If they really wish to come, they should have a perfect goal. They should have what they want. They should know what they want. It's not like randomly I want to go abroad. I have to choose a subject and I'm going and learning it. I'm to be honest, it's really hard for us to handle without having a perfect view what they want. They randomly choose something and coming here is really helpless. It will be really hard for the students to cope up. You have to first know what you want. If you're really interested in it, if you really want to pursue in it, you have to go. You have to, and you have to, yes, see, with guidance of yours, they can choose the colleges what they always choose what they want, what the colleges need, what the colleges are. Like if I am interested in electronics, they can show what all colleges are well ranked in electronics, so the students can choose what they want. So choosing that, they obviously can come here and they can learn more advanced technical stuffs. So yeah.
Great, Anusha. So thank you so much for spending time with us, giving this interview. And I'm sure like many students are going to get inspired by you, especially girl students. And you have given advice to parents also. I'm sure like they will all see that. So thank you so much for taking this time in your weekend and giving this interview for us. And I really wish all your dreams and wishes comes true. So anything that you wish for, I hope it all comes true. I wish for that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. It's just to say people out there that it's not scary, it's not unsafe. For parents, as you said, it's not unsafe. It's really safe for students to pursue their goal. So if they're really interested in doing studies abroad, they can choose this and they can come. Even in India, there are very well-known institutions like this. If they want to go there, they can do that. Or else, if they want to pursue their goal in abroad, they have to give a try. They don't want to hesitate just because it's unsafe, feeling that it's unsafe, just because it's costly. It's not like that. You can go. It is not costly. It is not unsafe. You can give it a try.
Wonderfully said, Anusha. I completely agree with whatever you said now. So many parents should come forward, especially having a girl, like sending the girl, like they have to come forward. And I'm sure like your interview will give them more idea on the real scenario on how it is. So thank you so much for your time. And for the viewers who are listening to this, if you have any questions related to your profile, please do come and contact us. We are very friendly. We'll give you like all the possible options possible. And we are ready to help you out. So you just have to take some time and then get your profile evaluated. We spend around like 60 to 90 minutes time with each and every student. So you just have to make use of that. So connect with us, talk to us, understand what we are saying and take it forward. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you all in the next interview session. Thank you.